Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Hometown Musician Spotlight. We're coming to you from the beautiful east side of Chicago, and we're with east side's own Phil Angotti. You can find him playing anywhere in Chicago and all over the Northwest Indiana area. Thanks for being here, Phil.
Of course we can, buddy.
So for the people like me who know you, we know some of your background, but why don't you tell the audience, where were you born, where were you grew up, and where'd you grow up and where'd you go to school?
I'm from the east side my whole life. My first house was on Avenue N, evidently, and I don't remember as a baby. Then across the street from St. George on Ewing. Most of my childhood was on 97th and Avenue L, that's the song. And then there was 97th and Ewing. I went to St. George Grammar School. I went to George Washington High School. Graduated in 79.
Well, you spoke about your mom being more of a top 40 Beatles and your dad being the Merle Haggard and country guy.
Yeah, Big Frank. My dad liked country, yeah. So when I was in the car with him, I had no choice. I was listening to WJJD. When I was a little boy, my mom knew I loved the Beatles, and she would buy me any Beatle record I wanted when I was little. I remember back in the day, go to Jewel on the east side, and they had a counter where you can buy LPs. And going back, I don't remember all the ones she bought, but I remember distinctly in 1971 her buying me Paul McCartney's Ram, because I pointed and like, that's Paul's new record. So yeah, they were both good about nurturing the music in me, and and then they like different stuff, but they also both love the Beatles.
Yeah, and your younger sister too kind of joined in, right? She was a nice little accompaniment for you.
She's a great singer, she's a natural. Like she didn't play guitar growing up or music growing up. When I got in my band, not right away, but like maybe 7-8 years into playing, she would come out and sing with me, and then she did a few shows with me here and there. And I helped her actually she made a solo record, and I helped produce and play guitar in it. But yeah, she's still doing it.
So I know you had your first, you put out your first music and recordings in 1999. Take us from the time from, the Fleas and those bands up to your first recording.
It's interesting because it started in 1980, really. A year after high school, the Fleas were formed already, right after I graduated. And in summer of 1980, we were already playing shows, gigs as myself, Dennis Pizzuto, and Rob Kutzer. He was the first drummer of the Fleas. It was really hard to find recording studios, and unless you were financed by somebody. We did a couple reel-to-reel tapes at my friend Eddie Kramer's house. I still have them. Mm-hmm. And then our second drummer was Ron Jagelski, The Flash. He sadly passed away a few years ago. But the Fleas broke up before we really got to get our groove in writing original songs, even though I had written a bunch of songs. Dennis and I actually just got together a month ago, and his son has a studio in Nashville and recorded 4 of our original songs when we were kids. So it was kind of nice to revisit those songs. And we didn't change them too much. We wanted to sound like that's what they were like then. We're going to leave them alone. But that was my first band. And it was fond memories because we were young and we were out playing 60s music. People were like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. I know you recent years joined up with I don't want to use the remnants, but the remaining members of Material Issue, and you formed Material Re-Issue, excuse me. Tell us about how that came about and what the future is for Material Re-Issue.
Well, I knew the band when Jim was alive. We were friends. We did a few shows and we were on a couple CD compilations together. Sad that that Jim left us many years ago. After Jim had passed away, Mike was playing in various bands, and I'd run into Ted at like International Pop Overthrow. I think I played a small set with him once. But it was Mike that approached me about doing the show with them. I had him in my original band though before Material Issue reformed, so we were familiar with each other's music, and he seemed to think I was the guy for the job, and I said I'm honored and happy to do it. So our first show was 2011, which was an anniversary for their first album, International Pop Overthrow, and I've been with them ever since.
Beautiful.
The future is more like they like to play 1 or 2 shows a year. Okay. Don't want to milk it. They're very particular about where we play. To honor Jim and the band, we really don't play that much.
I think when you played Skokie, was that kind of
Skokie Backlot, that's a great show, Like I said, we do maybe 1 or 2 a year.
Mm-hmm. I think there's been at least once, maybe twice, where during my job, I walk into a body shop, my customers, they don't always have TVs on, but there I am, 9:30 in the morning, and there you are on WGN News playing music. You know, how cool is that? I tell the guy, I know that guy, and I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, they had me on. I was promoting a new record, Once Around Again, so I went and sang a song called Eye for an Eye, which is a great story about that song is, it sounds like an early Bee Gees song. I wrote it. That was the inspiration. The guy who produced it, Scott Bennett, actually worked with Robin Gibb's son, Spencer. He's done some work with him. He says, Phil, I got the guy that was going to put the string section on this and arrange it and sing a little background part. It was Robin Gibb's son. He's on the song. I never met him because we could do these things now via computer. And so he's actually singing singing a part and did the string arrangements on that song. It's on Once Around Again. And I kind of think it's one of my best songs. And so when I did the WGN show, that was the song I picked to play. So you probably saw that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's fun.
You know,
Amy Ruffledge and Frances, what's her name? She's really nice. They're both super nice girls.
Gosh, I forgot the next question. It usually doesn't happen. But so what I really kind of think is cool, and I've yet to witness you do this, but when you have your, if I can call it a DJ session, where you play music and then for part of the show you're actually playing classic albums. And since I've never been there, do you? Because you're great at talking in between songs, telling a story that's so endearing to us.
I learned to do that out of being nervous.
It's
like it kills the nerves, right?
Yeah. So what are those shows like when you kind of act like DJ and play? It's kind of unique.
Yeah. So you're probably talking about the shows I do at Delilah's.
Yes.
Because I'm not a DJ really by trade, but I have a great record collection. So Mike Miller, the owner, would ask me, "Hey Phil, would you like to spin for John Lennon's birthday?" Or like I'm doing one for Jagger's birthday. I'll bring a collection of vinyl. But before I spin, I'll sit and play a set of that music. Then I go over to the DJ booth and I DJ all night, which is kind of fun. It's 2 turntables, and a microphone with the song. But and I'm not that great at it. There's none of this. It's old school. Drop the needle. There's a little art to like getting this song over and have headphones on and then getting to the next song so it's smooth. But I'm getting better at it, but it's just fun.
Yeah. I think the only time I got a chance to see you live on the North Side was Martyrs, but you have a lot of shows on the North Side. It just seems like, and well-deserved, but it seems like you have quite the following on the North Side. And you live on the North Side. Do you have somewhat of an affinity?
Yeah, I mean, I still love playing the South Side. I mean, I moved up north years ago, made the decision. It's like, I think if you want to take it more seriously, especially with original music, you got to kind of get out of your neighborhood, meet a new audience, and in certain clubs and bars that feature original music. A lot of bars you play at home. When I come at home and play, I love playing covers, and I play songs my friends want to hear, but not everybody's tolerant or open to listening to some guy playing his original songs all night. You know, you just don't. You know. And my friends here on the East Side are. That's why today our set was really heavy. I played a lot of originals because they know them and they know me. But I normally don't push that on people. Like I read the room. Like you know, if I'm playing somewhere, even like Denver Green or something, I'll bring an acoustic song. I'll throw a few of mine in, but mostly playing to a crowd of people that may not know me, and I just play some songs that are familiar. But I enjoy playing.
Yeah.
I don't play anything I don't like.
So I remember.
Leave that to the wedding bands.
So I do drive around a lot for my job, and I do remember, it might have been 10 years ago, driving down North Avenue, stopped in Avenue and Guitars to see it.
I missed that place.
I was just, and I'm not a musician, so I wouldn't know an instrument for another, but man, just to see all them freaking guitars. So a couple questions. How many of those guitars you still own? You don't have to answer that question.
Okay.
And number two, what are the hurdles being a business owner and a musician on the North Side of Chicago?
It was kind of tricky because you know my partners were great, Leslie and Tim, and they allowed me to leave early and go play a show. Sometimes there would be customers in the store. I'm sitting there learning a song. I'm like, Phil, we got a customer here. So I enjoyed the shop. I like working with people, but it was challenging to like prepare for a show and still run a shop. So I had to kind of juggle that a little bit. But it was okay. And most of the guitars that you saw in the store were not mine.
Okay.
I have a few. Put a couple in a nice like little display cabinet. And I have a guitar collection, and I still kept. I've got about like 42 guitars. Not as bad as Rick Nielsen, but I got quite a few.
That's really cool. Gosh, I keep forgetting your question. But so, if on your ladder of musical aspirations, is there something you're eyeing next? Is there some aspect of the business that maybe you're wanting to tackle someday?
I actually always wanted to write or at least be part of a film soundtrack, and I've had some songs that were on some cable TV shows that got picked up, and they run in syndication. But it does come and go kind of fast. But like a movie kind of lasts forever. Like I always dreamed of getting on a soundtrack. In fact, many years ago, I did a solo album and I called it Juliet Foster, and it says the soundtrack. And I did this cover, and it looks like a film poster. A lot of people thought, "Oh,
wow,
this is a real movie."
Yeah.
No, I made it up.
Yeah.
It's a movie that I made up, and I made the song. It was just kind of like a fantasy of like, I'd love to do that. And I got a lot of songs that would lend nicely to that, instrumentals and stuff like that. But it's like in any business, it's who you know, and just getting that break and get through the door. And as time goes on, marches on, it's harder and harder to get that foot in the door. That's something I would love to do. Yeah.
So today, Phil is being inducted into Eastside Hall of Fame.
I don't know if it's officially called the Eastside Hall of Fame, but I'm getting some type of a Lifetime Achievement Award, which I was really happy to hear about. I thought they were kidding me.
Yeah.
Like, Pat Carroll's getting one. Pat,
is that right?
Passed away.
Maybe in honor of
the Crowbar.
Yeah.
His sons, Mikey and Johnny, will probably be here tonight. In fact, I saw Mikey.
Yeah.
Accepting a award. There's a few of us tonight getting one, but I was, and I'm happy for my mom and dad are happy about it.
Yeah.
So I'll probably give it to them.
It's a long way from Ace Hardware on Ewing Avenue, Phil.
It
but
sure
it's
is.
well deserved.
Dago Park.
Well deserved, brother. Really, very
thank
much. I usually sometimes like to ask a couple questions, and I think you might enjoy these last two questions. They're fun, hypothetical questions. But if you could play any room in the world, past or present, that you have not yet played, is there a pinnacle room or venue or outdoor?
That's a great question. Because I think about it historically in the great rooms, and you always see these concerts from Who Live at Leeds, and you see like Humble Pie at the Fillmore, like something like the Fillmore.
Yeah,
it would be so cool. Also, always think about the Whiskey A Go Go. But I actually was there for a pop festival called the International Pop Overthrow, and I was in the room, and it's small. I just always wanted to play at the Whiskey, but I didn't get to play there. That would be two I could think of, and of course, like somewhere like I played the Cavern Club where the Beatles played. So that was
Get
cool.
out!
Yeah, I did actually play during Beatle Week.
Yeah.
But I guess if there was one place I'd love to play in Chicago, it would be hard to say because some of the big arenas don't appeal to me.
Yeah.
I would say maybe the Chicago Theater.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Because it's a smaller venue, but it's beautiful. I think that would be fun.
Yeah. Well, and the last question, again, hypothetical. If you could trade places with any other musician for a whole weekend, not just for a performance, or sit in with a band, possibly, what would be kind of like your ideal scenario?
It'd be Paul McCartney's band. I would love to nudge out one of his guitar players because I think I'm a better harmony singer than him. And I would love to play rhythm guitar and sing the John parts with Paul. I dreamt about that, and that's an impossible dream because again, I can do it. I know the material. I would probably pass the audition, but I always dream about that. It's like maybe one of them will get sick or get lost or something. Someone will put my name in, and I'll get to go up there and play with Paul.
Awesome.
Yeah, that would be the dream gig for me.
Well, Maker's Mark toast to you, Phil, and today, and let's do it.
For friendship and for the interview. Hey, and then people stayed away finally.
Yeah, we got a couple free moments. Thank God, I can't believe it. But
it was kind of funny though.
Anyway,
you got some outtakes.
yeah, there will see some bloopers. Check the comments after this video. But anyway,